Hey friends, welcome back to Homeschool-ology. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Nikki. I'm a homeschooling mom of 4. Currently, they are in 8th, 4th, kindergarten, and pre-K. Going into the new school year, we will have our official first high schooler, and all 4 of my kids will be in school, which is just bonkers to me. But anyways, today's video, I'm going to be talking about what we're most excited about for next year. And this is a collaboration video with Stephanie over at Schulte Sweeties. And we have a lot of kids of similar ages, so it's always fun to watch her channel and see what they're doing. And so I hope you will go check out her channel. I'm linking it down below, as well as the playlist for this video, or this collaboration. It will be down there as well. So I hope you will check that out and say hello to all the other homeschool mamas that are participating in this collaboration. So let's dive in. Okay, so as I said, the topic of this video is what we're most excited about for next year. And it can be anything like curriculum or subject or anything else. So I'm going to talk to you guys about my most favorite activity or subject that I like to teach. Now, knowing that I used to be a high school chemistry and biology teacher, you're probably going to assume that it's science. And while I absolutely love teaching science, I don't love the mess that comes along with it so much, because my kids really love doing experiments and I love doing them with them, but then I'm left to clean up all this mess and having to get everything all set up and prepared and then take everything down. It makes it a little less enjoyable for me. Although I do still love teaching my kids science, there is a winner that has come was a bit of a surprise to me. But I love teaching history. So I've always been kind of I've always been intrigued by the past and learning about how people lived in the past. But when I was in school, history was always like memorizing facts about battles that I could have cared less about. I mean, I really just don't care where the Battle of Waterloo was and who won it and what year it happened. I just don't care. That is not interesting to me. But learning about how people lived back in the Egyptian times and what they did that's the same as us and what they did that is different than us and the technologies that they had, that is all fascinating, and it has been fascinating to me for a really long time. But I didn't enjoy history because it was all facts and figures and numbers and details that just weren't interesting in school. And so, but now that I'm teaching it to my kiddos, we just love history around here, and most of my kids love it too. Probably because I'm excited about it. That helps a lot when you're teaching kids something. If you're excited, they'll be excited. But they also love to learn about how people lived in the past and how their lives back then, or back whenever, is different than our lives now, and how it's actually the same, because a lot of things are still the same. Even though we have, different technologies, like everybody still does, learning. Everybody still does, housework. Everybody still does all the things that they had to do, but we just do it differently. And so it's so fun to learn about all that and just really dive deep. We like to travel and kind of like see the world around us. We are in the United States, and so we travel in the US mostly, but we love going to places like Savannah and learning about the Civil War and all the things that happened then and how people lived and all the houses that were built at that time and what technologies they had at that time that are actually really surprising. And some things you're like, why did we do away with this? That's so genius. And so we just love doing things like that. And so history is really exciting to us. It's still pretty project-based. I'm a hands-on learner. A lot of my kids are hands-on learners. So choosing a curriculum that was, heavy project-based but not too heavy, like also had other things we could do that weren't just projects, was really important to us. And so what we've found and been using is 2 resources that we really enjoy. So I'm going to share those with you now. We found Curiosity Chronicles. So I'm going to put a picture here for you guys. What I love about them is that they have so many different activities. So they have project activities, they have workbook activities, they have a timeline workbook, they have Minecraft activities, which my kids just, anything that they can do on a gaming system they think is amazing and they're happy to do, and they're still learning all this really cool history in that process. And so then there's a book, and that has an audio book, which means I don't have to read it, which is wonderful. And it's such a great resource. I love it so much. And yeah, it's just, we have fallen in love with it. We've only used little bits and pieces of it because we paired it with another resource, which I'll talk about in just a minute. So I'm really excited to go even further into this curriculum in this coming year, because what we've used so far, we've loved so much. Let's talk about the other resource, and which was the majority of what we used this year, but we're going to continue to use into next year, and I wanted to share that with you as well. And that is OER's project. OER project is what the website is called. I'm going to probably put up a B-roll here for you guys, but it is, actually, let me just set up my screen record, so give me 1 second. All right, so here we are, and like I said, it's the OER project, and they have multiple courses. So the Big History Project is what we used this year, and we probably will use a little bit into next year because we didn't quite finish it up. But I'm trying to debate between doing that or just going ahead and switching over to the World History Project, which is the high school level. So Big History Project is middle school level, World History Project is high school level, and they even have an AP version, which I think is amazing. But what we did was we used this because it started at, the Big History Project starts at Big Bang. So it starts not at like history beginning that people think of where people start, where people history starts. It starts all the way back at the beginning of basically time, because we're talking about the Big Bang here. So from nothing to everything in the universe and how that happened. And so that's kind of what our focus was this year. And it was we just loved this. Now, I will say, and I've mentioned this several times, if you plan to use any of this OER project material, I highly suggest using it over on Khan Academy, okay? Because Khan Academy has it all laid out for you. It is so much easier than the OER website. The OER website is wonderful, and you can absolutely use it 100%, but it took a lot. Before I found out that it was on Khan Academy, I was like organizing it myself and putting it into Google Classroom and doing all the things, and it took a lot of time and effort. And then I found Khan Academy, and it's freaking done for you, and I'm like, I should have just started here. So anyways, you can go in here and you can see all of the activities are here. Some of the activities, this is OER project is for school, okay? So it's for group settings. So some of the projects are kind of like group setting assignments, but the Khan Academy has made it pretty easy to use as like one person. So basically they've taken the activities and made it where it's like more of a one person activity. So it has been, but what I love the most is that it has this quiz that gets graded, okay? And then I can keep that as records if I need to report that. In the state of Florida where we are, you don't have to report grades until high school, so it hasn't really been something, but I did experiment with keeping a little bit of grade in my daughter's 8th grade year, which was this past year. And so having this quiz that gave me a grade to check her understanding was really helpful. So I really loved that about Khan Academy for using the OER project. And they have not just the Big History Project, they have all of it. And they don't have the AP, but they do have the World History Project on here as well. So it's super easy to use this website. It's completely free, which is wonderful. You can donate, and if it's in your budget, I highly suggest donating, because Khan Academy is such an amazing resource that they do give to us for free. So if you can give them a little bit, that would be really nice. It's super easy. Just hit that donate button right there at the top. I'm in no way affiliated with them. I just think it's a great program, and I try to support the people that are doing these things and giving these things to people for nothing for them. And it's a lot of work to make these things happen. So if you want to support other YouTube moms like myself or me, simply giving us a thumbs up can be such an amazing help to us. So I hope you would thumbs up this video while you're down there giving it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, I would love for you to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can see when more of these videos are coming out. I love teaching history. I love sharing, the past with my kids. I'm learning as much as they are learning, and that's probably part of why it's so fun for me, because I'm learning so much alongside them, where teaching science, I still learn things because things are changing all the time, and more information comes out, or theories get refined better. So things are changing all the time, which is something that I love about science. You are constantly learning, but also, what I'm teaching my kids, I've taught 1.5 million times. And so I think it's just kind of lost a little bit of that joy, which has made history surpass it just a little bit. But science is still really fun. I think because I'm a kinesthetic learner, I like doing things with my hands. Science is all doing things with your hands, all different kinds of figuring out, problem solving, which is what I like to do. And so, yes, science is up there, but history is definitely past science, and I love learning about science, and I love the resources that we found. Curiosity Chronicles and OER Project, they have just been really, really wonderful resources that provide us opportunities to do projects, but also give us more, so that it's not just projects, because that can get tedious as the instructor. So we have options. I love options. So I guess that's part of why I love Curiosity Chronicles so much, is because there's so many options. So I think that's all I'm going to share with you guys today. Thank you again to Stephanie for hosting today's collaboration. Don't forget to check out that playlist link down below, and head over to her channel and tell her I said hello, or I sent you to say hello. And I think that's going to be it for me. So don't forget, you can always check us out over on Instagram at Homeschool-ology if you want to follow more of our day-to-day life. I like sharing dad jokes over there because I'm a big dad joke enthusiast. So head over there, check us out over there, and I hope you will come back and chat with us again real soon, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.